Welcome back to our channel, where you can find the most recent news and articles on Princess Catherine of Wales and her royal family. Today we have a story. How heinous of this spoiled couple, Harry and Meghan, to receive a big award from the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization for claiming that the royal family is racist. Harry and Meghan are role models. It is now official. They have received the Human Rights Award in recognition of their heroic battle against institutional racism in the monarchy. The Ripple of Hope Award is granted by the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization, named after the former United States Attorney General and brother of John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated by a fanatic in the summer of 1968. There were several heroes in that summer, which unfortunately witnessed the killing of civil rights activist Dr. Martin Luther King, the greatest of whom was Dr. King. Nelson Mandela was in jail in South Africa at the time of Dr. King's death, when the apartheid government was in full ugly splendor, and Mandela had little evident possibility of ever being freed. During Dr. King's activism in the 1960s, African Americans were severely separated in the southern states. Segregation was the norm, even in the ostensibly liberal northern states. Black people were not permitted to swim at a magnificent swimming facility where I went with my grandkids in ultra-liberal Philadelphia until 1967. It was the first spot in the country where black and white friends could swim together. So it's easy to see why the Kennedys founded their prize to combat prejudice. You can see why they granted the medal to such towering figures as Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who not only battled for the end of apartheid over a long period of time, but also urged both sides to join together in peace. He was a true hero who repeatedly risked his life for the mission and lived for it. It is absurd that Meghan Markle and Harry Windsor have been placed in the same category as such brave anti-racism advocates, and their acceptance of this award is a horrible self-conceit. The concept that the alleged institutional racism in the British royal family is equal to the heinous injustices perpetrated by racist regimes in South Africa and America defies credulity. During apartheid, the Commonwealth sought economic penalties on South Africa's racist rule. Several British governments disagreed. Our late Queen, on the other hand, repeatedly supported Mandela and other African leaders in their call for sanctions. Earlier, in the 1950s, despite warnings from Foreign Office officials to keep the left-wing future president of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah, at arm's length, she traveled to Accra, the capital, and openly danced with him. There are several complaints that may be leveled towards the royal family. In many ways, the royals may be described as blinkered and out of touch. And it is true that throughout the 1960s, the royal flunkies, those who managed the court for the Queen, barred non-whites from joining the palace staff, much to Her Majesty's chagrin when she discovered this. But when it came to racism, even the Orthodox Queen was decades ahead of her contemporaries. Charles, as Prince of Wales, reached out to immigrant populations in our expanding industrial areas long before many British politicians did. He took the time to learn about Islam and pray alongside Muslims. In his Prince's Trust, he included young people of various ethnic origins and provided many people of the first or second immigrant generation a head start in becoming fully appreciated citizens of a contemporary, multiracial British society. The same may be said about the Duke of Edinburgh's award program. Doyen Sonnebert told the audience at the Duke's burial ceremony at Westminster Abbey in March that she began chasing the prize when she was 15 years old. Motivated by her Nigerian-born mother, she earned a gold award and stated that it was Prince Philip's vision that allowed her and thousands of other young people to improve their unique abilities. She now not only has a great profession, but she also started programs to help young people from poor backgrounds accomplish the same. Label our monarchy anything you want, but please don't call it institutionally racist from the safety of your luxurious existence in California. Following the Queen's funeral, William and Kate made overtures to Harry and Meghan. and it appeared like there was a tiny thaw in their dreadful family Cold War. Surely the first thing that should have to come to the Sussexes was to decline this ripple of hope nonsense. They are pointing another Exocet missile onto Harry's father, brother, and relatives by accepting it. What brave act have the Sussexes ever performed in their relations with the royal family? They've sulked, squabbled, caused havoc, and thrown juvenile tantrums. They were interviewed by Oprah Winfrey and stated that someone in the royal family said something offensive, such as speculating what Archie would look like when he was born. They couldn't figure on when the statement was made. Meghan said there were many chats regarding Archie's skin color during those months when I was pregnant, while Harry claimed there was just one straight at the beginning before we even got married. Even if they believe this inquiry is racist, and it isn't always a question of color or race, because surely every family is interested in whether a new baby looks more like mom or dad. Where is their sense of proportion? Do they honestly believe that this casual comment, purportedly uttered when Meghan was pregnant, is comparable to the atrocities of South Africa's apartheid government, or the persecution of African Americans in the southern states from the days of slavery to our time? Meghan, it appears, believes she is some kind of civil rights heroine. She famously told a journalist that when she went to see a performance of The Lion King, one of the cast members said to her, "I just need you to know. We cheered in the streets when you married into this family, just as we did when Mandela was released from jail." Nobody has ever been able to locate this cast member. No one who was present at the theater that evening, when Meghan greeted a lineup of performers who all curtsied and smiled, has ever remembered comparing her to Nelson Mandela. This was a guy whose life was continually threatened and who spent decades imprisoned in a small jail cell as a result of his quest for justice in Africa. How can his life be compared to that of a spoiled TV actress who married one of Britain's richest men and reportedly had a wobble when presented with a gorgeous tiara to wear on her wedding day because it was the incorrect sort of tiara? Not only in the United Kingdom has intellectual opinion expressed surprise at the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization's award to the Sussexes, and even more so at their acceptance of it. The prize to the Sussexes was described as between sublimely stupid and obviously silly by Professor David Nassau, Pulitzer nominee and author of The Patriarch. On Bobby Kennedy's father, Joseph, it's ridiculous. If you look at the persons who have received the Robert F. Kennedy Prize in the past, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Bishop Desmond Tutu, you have to wonder what Harry and Meghan are doing here, he continued. What in the name of God have they done to deserve this? Even as Harry and Meghan prepare to accept the prize next month, there are actual victims of racism in the United States, and sadly, in the United Kingdom. Even while they attend the gala event in New York, surrounded by the bejeweled and sycophantic elite, police departments around the country are being probed for true incidences of racism. The poorest children of black parents in the United Kingdom and the United States continue to face casual racism, not just from the police, but also from the system. Nonetheless, respectable individuals, including senior members of the royal family, are doing all possible to shift attitudes and make things right. Charles, through the Prince's Trust charity he founded in 1976, hopes to provide employment opportunities for ethnic minorities at home, just as the Princess Royal has collaborated for Save the Children in the poorest, most famine-stricken parts of Africa for decade after decade and with almost no bright publicity. In comparison, consider Harry and Meghan, who are carrying their Ripple of Hope trophy. These two make one doubt if they will ever make peace with their family. We, too, are upset that two overprivileged, self-delusional, stupid individuals refuse to recognize what a jerk they have become since moving to California. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your points of view about this. Goodbye for now.